Alright, welcome back to another day trading recap video. I'm making this video actually a day late. It is the morning of 4/20. Not going to be smoking up today, but I'm going to be doing a trading recap for yesterday at 4/19, which was Tuesday. Overall, very slow pre-market. Didn't have much. I think I started in slightly green going into the open. So I traded STSS. I was looking for, a push over the VWAP here pre-market. And I had another shot here. This one was a small win. I was looking for, a surge though, looking for $3, but the volume just didn't come in, and I took it off for a small profit. Then we traded. It looks like we traded. I tried it again, looking for. I saw now that there was a resistance level at 260. It did not break 260. This was the line in the sand. So anyone who's short on this move, it's a recent IPO, 9 million float setup. It only had 2 days of trading, and I knew there would be some volatility. And I saw that, we ran up pre-market. And so if anyone who was riding this backside short, or potentially adding here, because it did not break the pivot point to where, you squeeze out early short or late short sellers. So that's why, I thought that I kept a mental note that it did not break the pivot point, and so it was still valid for a red to green setup to squeeze out any late short sellers, because anybody who's, getting in on this pop or getting in late here on the break of the VWAP, a lot of the times on these penny stocks or these low float small caps, they won't flush, they'll flush, have a downtrend of like 20 or 30%, but then it'll reverse to the point where, it looks like it's going to go back to a front side, but it's just, to scare out some shorts and then continue a downtrend, or sometimes it actually does enter a front side. In this case, it does enter a front side, and it does squeeze out all the short sellers that were in pre-market. So 2.6 was the mental note. If this candle here would have broke 260 and ran to 3, and then downtrended all the way back to 230, it probably wouldn't have been on my radar, and it probably wouldn't have made this big move, because it already would have squeezed out a lot of the short sellers that were in, or at least spooked the short sellers to take profit on that move. And so by the time it went to attempt a red to green at the open, there just wouldn't be enough volume or any shorts trying to get out, pushing price higher and attracting more longs. So I kept a note on that, and then I jumped to PMCB. So PMCB was just pretty much a pump and dump, if you ask me. Oh man, I almost don't. My throat's a little bit, stuffy, and my nose is a little bit stuffy today. So here we got to bounce off the VWAP. So what I did was I added. Oh no! So at the start of this candle, I saw that it wasn't breaking below VWAP, so I added 267, added 270 for a break of this candle, and I took it off immediately at 273 and 274 or 272 for a nice quick profit, nice 6 cents on that, and then it pulled back to VWAP, and I bought 269 for potential bounce back towards this high, as long as it held VWAP. Took some off about break even, added that back at 273 as I figured out that it was going to run back to the highs. So I chased a little bit, and then they got stuffed into this level, and I pretty much took it all off for maybe a 1 or 2 cent win. Then here, looking again, for a break at the 280 level up to 3, and it doesn't happen. Scratch trade. Here, bought off the VWAP 269, about a 1 or 2 cent trade. Here, I finally thought we were going to break it, and I started, adding into it, into the breakout level, 250 shares. That's pretty solid. 276, 279, 274, 278. Looking for the $3 break of 828, the previous high here, and then a rip up to $3. That's what I was looking for. And it got stuffed in that level, and I took it off about a scratch trade. And then it just went downtrending since there. I thought, maybe from here, we would reclaim the VWAP, and then we'd finally rip up towards $3, but it didn't happen. So completely took that off my watch list. But I did walk away green on it. I walked away about $11 green on that stock. And then the only other stock I traded was STSS at the open. And, I was thinking, I was like, 2.6. 2.6 is the line. I want to catch that breakout. I didn't expect it was going to run to the high, but I was looking for at least a scalp through this breakout level. Why is it? Sometimes it just doesn't load up. There we go. So I added, I saw it kind of rising into the open, and so I thought I might have to just jump on this. And, it popped up to 258 right on the first minute candle. I was like, oh, hey, it's going to break through 2.6 pretty soon. So I jumped in at 255, 256. And then I added higher at 268 and 268. It looks like I took a little bit of profit there, and then I added back, pretty much doubled my position on this first pullback. So we had a topping tail kind of false breakout on the 1 minute. However, because, as it was trying to flush, it just, usually these candles, they hit down real hard and bust through any support. But here, it held 260. So I was like, okay, this is a micro pullback. This is going to keep going. This could keep going. So I added more, 262. Held 260. Dipped down a little bit below 260. Stocks tend to do that. However, because it was above the VWAP and the 9 EMA, volume quickly reclaimed 260. I used that opportunity to add at 260, and then I added more at 271 and 271. And then I started taking some profit off. However, I'm still holding a core position because I thought, we're going to get more in this. So I was just holding. I kind of held myself back from selling that last portion. I was holding those shares, and I was able to hold that through pretty much the whole move. Then I added back at 272 for maybe another push for the high of 274. So new candle to make a high. And I added, and then I rode that up to I got some sells at 283, 277. So that was pretty solid. We got a pullback. So I thought it was another 1 minute pullback. So I started edging into this little small size in case it did, just go for another 1 minute pullback with another 5% rip. But then as it pulled back even more, I used that because I only added small size. I wasn't too nervous. So once it pulled back to the 9 EMA on the second red candle, I added even more and was able to get a nice push off the 9 EMA here. 273. I took some off at 280. I had them back at 285 as I was going to make a new high here up towards 3. Took some more off at 2.9. Added back at 292 for the break of 3. Took it off on a surge to 294. Still holding some positions. Added more back at 298. I really, it could have been cleaner if I would have just held, added here off the 9 EMA and held it towards $3. So that's something I can work on, just having a cleaner trade. But sometimes stocks are very erratic, and sometimes it'll pop up and it'll flush down, and this strategy here of just capturing a couple cents, adding back, capturing a couple cents, adding back, taking off, adding back. Sometimes even when the stock is real choppy, we're having false breakouts everywhere, I'm still can walk away green because of that strategy. Whereas if I were just to hold for a move, I would end up red. So here, added back, took it off for a cent gain, looking for $3. Then I took this off at 3, and I missed, 10 cents. I added back at 3.10, so I missed 10 cents there. Added back at 3.10 for a couple cent winner there. Thought it was a bit extended at this point. Was going for the breakout at 3. It was at 334. Let's look at this level. Looking for the breakout of 320. That was at 320. And I thought it was extended on the 1 minute, which it kind of was. A little bit extended off the VWAP. I was thinking we'd see another retracement back towards the VWAP or some sort of bigger pullback before we got that breakout. But it kind of went without me. So after 310, so I missed pretty much 30 cents here. My next ad after 310, and I saw at 312 was 343. That's way up here. It broke out at 320 and ripped. I should have sized in pretty heavily here, and I could have had, I could have easily had like a 30% addition onto my profit. I could have had like a nice solid 10% gain there. I could have walked away with some more profit. But sometimes, it's better to be conservative. If I would have got overly aggressive, I was managing my risk, really. I was already up a lot from here. And, I didn't want to have that one last trade, to be gambling all of those profits that I made up to this point on this one last breakout. And so, in a way, it was kind of smart, but I did leave money on the table. So 43, I took some off to manage my risk, and then took the rest off at 354, which was a nice 10-cent profit. That's pretty solid. And then I used this opportunity to get a little aggressive on this first pullback to retest the previous high. My average was 332, 400 shares. That's about $1,200 position size. And I took that off for a 1 cent gain. I was a little bit too fast. If I would have held a couple seconds later, I could have got 10 cents. That would have been another $40 on top of my P&L. But, I got another opportunity. It pulled back more to the 9 EMA. Once it retested the 9 EMA, I added 400 shares or 100 share increments, and or 58 200 share increments as it was retesting the 9 EMA, and I showed that volume was coming in to show some support. Thought we were going to see another breakout of 362. So got a little bit aggressive here. And I took it off into the push towards 350, and it just wasn't holding. I actually added more at 338 for the break at 350, potential into the highs, and took it off for a nice, from these shares, it's 10 cents, and from this, it's 5 cents. So that's a pretty solid win right there. That's what really kind of made doubled my profit on the day. Then here we got a couple scalps. I was really thinking we'd get a move off the 9 EMA, but it started to fade a little bit. Took a bunch of scratches. Here I tried buying off the the VWAP. Got a couple scalps there. Here again, I bounced off the VWAP, a couple cents. Here I thought, we reclaimed the 9 EMA. We were going to run back towards the highs, make another rip, another leg. And so I kind of started scalping this on smaller size, thinking, if this were to open up and retest the highs on higher volume, I would be adding aggressively into that level. And then here's the big fake out, 339. I was looking for to break a 350, and I had 50 shares. I think I was only 50 shares, but 43, I was looking for the high, stuffed at 350, and I didn't take it off until 226. So that was a like almost a 20-cent loss there. So about an 7 or 8% loss, small share size. Thank God that I was able to walk away with some profit. But at that point, I lost them off the top. And, it kind of spooked me a little bit and be reluctant to keep trading because I was up so much on the day. And, I didn't want to risk the profit that I worked so hard to make. Here we got a couple scalps, small size. So after this big flush, I was just doing small size to see, potentially, are we going to reclaim? Was this level going to go all the way back up to 362? And, as soon as I saw this flush candle and this one, I was done. But we did get some other trades on SEV later in the day. However, I didn't want to, get involved in another stock. I was used to, on the day, I made all my money on STSS, and I felt it. I felt like I knew how it moved. And, it was already 11 o'clock, and I saw SEV going up. And, I didn't want to start getting involved in another stock. And it was really choppy here. But I didn't want to get involved in another stock after I had the biggest green day of my damn career so far on STSS. My biggest green day to date, finishing the day up yesterday, $135. Pretty solid. My biggest win here is $47 on STSS. Then a bunch of scalps on it. And at $20 scalps, $24 scalps, $17 scalps. It all added up $135 on the day. It's pretty damn solid. I'm very proud of that. You can see, my P&L on the day. You can see it's being consistently growing on average, bigger and bigger every week. My P&L curve is going up. My volume, my daily volume, I'm increasing my volume incrementally, slowly over time. And, it's all coming together. It's all pointing up. Everything is funneling and pointing up. And it feels good that my progress is coming in. Because for a while, it felt like I was not making progress. And here, I'm already close to my March gain. I might have a new high in my monthly gains. This could be a new monthly high. And then on the week, I'm already up 186, and my highest previous week was only $192 on the week. And I'm only 2 days in, I'm at 186. That's pretty solid. And all of 2021, I made 1,462. I'm already at 1,130. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Showing progress. My P&L, is starting to open up a little bit. So everything's looking good. My stats are looking good. I have my strategy is high accuracy and a lot of volume trades. So I like to go for, smaller base hits rather than trying to go for home runs. Even though sometimes I do go for home runs. It doesn't stop me from going for home runs, but I tend to take my profits quick and cut my losers quick as well. But the reason I'm profitable is because I'm accurate 65% of the time. And so that's why I'm able to have a profit ratio of 1.41 on average. So it's pretty solid. But so that's it all for yesterday, Tuesday. Highest green day, $135 on the day. It's pretty damn solid. Super happy. Just, the feeling of all that work when you put into something and, it's taking so long and you don't know if it's even going to work or if what you're doing is working or if you're just wasting your time. And then finally just to see some results after all that work and anything. It's just so rewarding and so fulfilling. And now I feel like, now that I'm experiencing this progress, it's really fueling me. I'm kind of like reinvesting my my motivation, my fulfillment that I'm getting from seeing these rewards monetarily. I'm kind of reinvesting that energy back into myself, and now it's making me more obsessed with trading, and it's making me more motivated and more eager to wake up the next day and more eager to study every trade and figure out what I'm doing wrong or what I can improve on. And I'm in that upward momentum of getting better and better every day, uh, and it just feels really good. So that's where I'll leave it at. Hope you guys enjoyed this day trading recap video. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather today. Hopefully I get better soon. It's really just a stuffy nose and a scratchy throat, but it's still making me hard to talk. And but see you guys, I guess, today on the next day trading recap. I do have a trend of after having a nice green day, having a sizable red day. So I think today, I may need to size down a little bit. So far, it's 8 o'clock. I don't want to be, there's nothing that shows me I should be gunning it or going for the fences. So I think I should use today just to size down a little bit, just to manage my confidence and manage my confidence level, because right now I have a little bit of higher confidence coming off of yesterday, and I don't want that to influence my trading today, which it will inevitably will, but I want to manage that because a lot of times I'm coming in overconfident after having big green days. Anyways, my nose is getting kind of stuffy, so I'm going to end it here. I guess I'll see you guys on the next day trading recap, and good luck trading. All right, peace.